already know who it is. It's your girl Mish with TamTv, and today we have a special guest.
Yeah, dig 2ColdFamous in the building. Man, over here with TamTv. Let's get it cracking. Dig.
Go. Yo, it's your girl Mish, and we got 2ColdFamous, Mr. 2Cold.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to the fans. Let them know who you are, what you do.
Man, what's going on, y'all? You feel me? 2ColdFamous in the building. Man, shout out to my BDB Nation people. You feel me? Problem Inc. All that, manifest fame, all that. So let's get this interview started, man.
Let's get into it. All right. So first off, I want to know who inspired you to do music. Who or what inspired you to do music?
As for like inspiration-wise, you know, I would say really and truly just a kid growing up, you know, kind of grew up in a music-based family. And then, you know, just listen to a lot of music. Like when I was younger, I kind of used to listen to a lot of different stuff, you know. So, and then listening to like, I would say like when you growing up, especially like me being from watching all that, you know, grew up in the war zone, basically born in that. So when it comes down to it, I was just seeing how like some people, you know, in my age group coming up, they were saying how like, man, like I appreciate, you know, at the time, bass guy, you know what I mean, bass guy, you know, everybody's like, bass guy helped me wake up today, all that, blah, blah, blah. So I was seeing that like, man, like, what if I could change people's lives with my music? What if I could change people's lives with my music, all that? So it's like, for me, it's like, I really was just like, man, I want to make a change with my voice too, really. Truly.
I love it. All right, so you say you from Watts, and can you kind of describe how it is growing up out there?
I mean, it kind of got a lot. It kind of got different. Just I would say as I got older, but I remember back then, like being from Watts, like I know a lot of people used to talk about Compton and Compton that way, which Compton was messed up back then. I ain't even gonna lie, it was, but. When it come down to Watts, like, you feel me, we one of the poorest cities in LA, but we have the most beautifulest people, you feel me? Like, we go through a struggle so much over there, you feel me, from just different hoods, beefing and being in the war, and, you know, you just being birthed into that. So, you know, it's kind of like, I would say we kind of found beauty in the war, you feel me? So it's like, so that's why we always so chill, we always just so fun-loving, and not gonna lie, like, you know, we go through so much, and yeah, we may kill each other and all that, you know, just due to, you know, politics from gang violence and stuff like that, but, you know, we do have a lot of love for each other. We can come together when it's time to come together and stuff like that, so that's why I represent my city so much, because I'm not gonna lie, man, like, a lot of artists that have came out of Watts, like, they say they from there, you know, but it's like they really just big on representing a section, you feel me? And it's like, yeah, I grew up in this section too, you feel me? But at the same time, like, I was never the type of person that, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm really about to be out here gangbanging, I'm finna be from the hood that I live in and all that, blah, 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 you feel me? Because Watts is just one of them cities, like, because honestly, you can grow up in Compton and grow up in an area that has no gang to it. You feel me? Like there's not many, but there's certain areas in Compton that don't really have like a hood tied to that area. You feel me? But there's a lot of parts of Compton that do. Watts, it's not like that. Like everywhere you turn in Watts, it's some hood there, some hood here, some hood there. Like you feel me? Like
Are you
somebody.
affiliated?
No, I'm not.
That was a little pause right there. Okay. So when I ask, are you affiliated, meaning are you outside every day in Watts? Like, are you visibly active?
So me personally, like I stay away. I stay out the way.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay.
I'm more so. You feel me? I'm affiliated because of my people, you feel me, and all that, but I have so much people from so many different hoods and all that, you feel me, ain't even no point for me to even sit down and claim a section, you feel me, you know, because I'm not out here doing music for that, I'm not out here trying to represent my section, be from my city, I'm out here to represent my city as a whole, no matter what hood you're from, especially just growing up with people from so many different hoods, not just from Watts, but hoods from Compton, Crenshaw, all different places, you know what I mean? So,
are you the only one right now representing for Watts?
I would say like there's artists that do represent the city, but they represent more of the section that they from in the city. You
Okay.
know? So it's like I try more so to represent the city in a positive way. I try to like, you know, shine the positive lights on the city, because you know it'd be a lot of people that, you feel me, that's not from Watts that will sit down and be like, oh, you ghetto because you from Watts, like, you feel me? And it's like, you know, it's like, man, like, you gotta realize what we growing up in every day, you feel me? Like, we the way that we is because of what we going through every day. Like, you walk out your front door, you cross the street, you in your enemy section, you know, stuff like that. So it's just, you never know what to expect being there, but you know what to expect. When you wake up, you walk out to the door, you know to expect, like, okay, something may pop up today, you know, let me just try to maneuver the best way I can. But you know, I love my city to the max, because we have had a lot of people come out of our city, but you know, a lot of people don't, outside of the music, I would say, you know, shout out to Watson Equanish, you know, putting on for the city, man, as a whole, you know. But it's like on a music level, I feel like on a music level, it's a lot of us that, you know, oh, I'm just representing this section and this where I'm from, even though I'm from Watts, you know. So it's like, you know, shout out to my homie Elfo, he out here trying to, you know, do positive things with his cooking and stuff like that. So, you know, and the projects and all that. And shout out to a lot of the other people that's trying to come up from the city, that's trying to be on some positive stuff. You feel me? So it's like, Watts is a beautiful city with a lot of dangerous people, but the dangerous people is beautiful in themselves. You feel me? So
I honestly can say that about LA as a whole.
Hell yeah.
I'm just tired of the disrespect on the name.
Yeah.
When a lot of greats came.
And I wanna elaborate on something real quick, man. You feel me? When it comes down to LA as a whole, just to let people know, it's like, if you from like when you from LA, you feel me? Just for the people that's on the like that, not from LA, but they may be from, you know, California. Like, when you from LA, you don't say you from LA if you from the city. Like, people from LA know what city they from, and they represent their city in LA. You know, so anybody's ever like, oh, they from LA, it's like, what part? Like, people always, like us LA natives, we always gonna ask, like, where in LA is you from?
Right, that's how you know it's
yeah,
a real
like,
nigga.
oh, okay, oh, he's from here, like, you feel me?
When they just say LA, you know, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, a lot of out-of-towners, you know, Cali, we do love out-of-towners, don't get it wrong, but it's just a lot of out-of-towners. Stop coming to Hollywood, you feel me? Don't go to Hollywood, don't go to Beverly Hills and all that and talking about, yeah, I'm in LA, because the heart of LA, we don't associate with those areas, you feel me, in the sense of claiming it as a heart of LA. You know, Hollywood is Hollywood, Beverly Hills is Beverly Hills, you know, everything on the outskirts. And the heart of LA, you know, it's the heart, so we all in the middle, you feel me? Compton, Watts, Inglewood, you feel me? South Central, you know, even Linwood is still part of that, you know, all that. So, you know, in other certain places too. So it's just, you know, us natives, man, we always be having to clarify that, you know. So let me just come and state that real quick, man, you feel me? Of course, you're right.
But let's get into your stage name. So we go by 2ColdFamous, but I recall you had a previous name.
Yeah, so my previous name was PV Honcho. For a lot of people that was like, where did PV Honcho go? Like, you feel me? PV Honcho in the flesh, man. You feel me? I just had to change my name because, you know, before I elaborate on what PV Honcho meant, I just had to change that PV Honcho name just because there was a lot of people that kept saying, like, oh, like Quavo Honcho, or like there was times where I went out and it was like, it's a honcho right here and then a honcho over here, like it's like, and then I'm honcho, so then they people like honcho, and we all looking like, who? No, him. Oh, they calling you, bro.
Oh, y'all looking.
You feel me? So when it comes down to, that's the reason why I had to really just change my name, because I just got tired of being everybody else.
Right. And what did the PSV stand for?
So the PSV stands for Patience, Fortune, and Virtue. I actually do have it tatted on the back of my behind my ear. I mean, they can't see it, you know.
Zoom in at me.
But when it comes down to it, though, it's Patience, Fortune, and Virtue. all great things come with patience. Your fortune's behind that door. Your virtue is your morals that you go by in everyday life. So that's why it's patience, virtue, and work. Patience, fortune, and virtue. And then honcho, you know, just head honcho. You know, everybody know what honcho means. You feel me? Now I came up with 2ColdFamous. You know, just because it's like, you know, we live in a cold world, but I'm colder. You feel me? So. That's why a lot of people, when they used to hear my music, they be like, man, this dude is too cold, man. Like, you feel me? Like, this, that, and the third. So I just be like, all right, too cold. I like that shit.
Perfect.
You know, and it's like, sometimes I come with my cocky flow, you feel me? Cocky vibes, all that. Sometimes a cocky humble, though, you feel me? Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But, you know, my cocky vibes and stuff. So that's why I was like, too cold. And then I was like, man, I am going to be famous one day, you feel me? So I was like, 2ColdFamous. Like, this boy is too cold and he getting famous out here, you feel me? And also, too, every time you say my name, it's like you basically manifesting in the air, you speaking it to existence. 2ColdFamous, take it out the is, you feel me? So,
come on now.
You know, that's just what it is.
Now, this may be an obvious question, but do you incorporate the language and the culture in your music on both sides, not just one? Are you focused on just one, or do you focus on both?
For my music, I would say I try to incorporate both sides. I mean, I haven't really incorporated the Trinidadian side too much. Just because I've been trying to like really get the rundown, because when it comes down to it, like the beats and everything, the breakdowns, everything is so different than what I'm used to that it's kind of like, it gotta come natural. So, but as for the Spanish stuff, I do try to mix that in there, you know, throw a little Spanish in there, you feel me, suave. Like, I do got a song, it's been out since 2019.
Tell the people,
Everybody been saying it's like my LA classic, you feel me, or whatever, but it's called Oye, featuring my homie K Slim. Shout out to K Slim out there in Long Beach, man, you feel me. But, hey, look. How that song even came about, though, is just the crazy part, just since we on that topic.
Yeah, let me hear it. What's up?
So basically, I've always wanted to like do a song where it's like for the Spanish people, you feel me, and like the black people at the same time, so that everybody could just enjoy the vibe. Because, you know, you got reggaeton and all that. But, you know, it's like, I wanted something to be mixed in, but we can still turn up and throw it at parties and play it at functions and all that. So like, I was just like, I came to him and I found the beat. You know, shout out to my boy Pistachio too for making the beat, man. You feel me? That boy's crazy. If y'all need a producer, mess with him, y'all. But, and also Pierre too. That's my little brother. So shout out to, you feel me, him too.
And don't play with the hits.
Also, don't play with the hits as well. You feel me? But when it comes down to it, like, I have found the beat. This is before me and Pistachio even got cool. I have found the beat on YouTube, you feel me? And this before I even, hey, nah, look, you feel me? That was at the time when I was really just looking for something.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? And I was just trying to find vibes. You know, you gotta kind of scroll through YouTube sometimes. Like, if you ain't sitting down with a producer, you know, and you don't know producers as an artist coming up, you kind of have to find your sources somewhere. You know what I mean? So, like, when it comes down to it, I have found that, and I was just like, yo, this is hard. And then he had added the little suave sample, and I'm like, hold on, boy, you got the little Puerto Rico vibes in this. Hold on. So yeah, so basically, I heard it, and I hit my boy K Slim, because he was the one that like was based on the same page as me, like, you know, because he's black and I'm the one that's Spanish. So I was like, let me hit him up and see what's up. Like, hey, bro, tap in with this beat. I wrote to it. I rapped him out the hook, and you feel me, all that. And that's when Oye, mami, yo te quiero go. It came up. I was like, oh, okay. Oye, mami, yo te quiero go. You feel me? And so it was just like, cause you know, in the Puerto Rican, like when Puerto Ricans talk to each other, we always say, oh yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And one thing that we be like, one thing that we sometimes say to them, oh yeah, coyo. Like, you know, it's like, what's up, fucker? Like, you hear me? Like, on something like, what's up, homie stuff. So, like, when it comes down to it, like, that's why I said, oh yeah, because in general, like, when you say, oh yeah, it's like, what's up? You feel me? Like, like, you feel me? Stuff like that. So, I had put that in there, and then he heard it. He was like, oh, this shit hard. Like, and then I had did the hook down, and then the verse came on, and it was just like, oh yeah, he was messing with it because I had a little Spanish vibes in there, and just speaking my little Spanish in there, and he was just like, okay, I'm feeling this. So I came in with the Spanish, and then he came in with just the regular English because he don't speak no Spanish, and so it contrasted so well that when everybody heard it, they was like, oh, this him, and everybody knows the Suave song. You feel me? So. Like, when you hear that Suave, you feel me? It's just like everybody just already know what's going on after that. So that's kind of like how that song came about. Like I said, shout out to Pistachio, because when I showed him the song, he was like, hey, bro, this song hard. You feel me? Stuff like that. And then so pretty much from there on, like, you know, he just gave me the beat, and we just went up from that. So since 2019, basically, you feel me? So there it is, there.
Well, do you have anything new dropping? Any shows coming out?
As for shows, like I kind of just to like build up more of an established career, I would say, and just kind of like develop myself as an artist a lot more. I kind of just decided to like not really hit the studio just for the remainder of this year, just so that way I could kind of like really focus on everything else. Because it's like when it comes to shows, like I've had times where I didn't try to sell tickets and couldn't sell them all the way off, so I had to pay out the rest. You feel me? Because sometimes some of those people that make you sell tickets, you know, they be like, oh, like, well, you can't perform if you don't sell the whole amount, like, you know what I mean, or you gotta pay the rest up. You know what I mean? So, like, I just kind of don't want to have to sit down and just like, hey man, buy my ticket. If it's $20 a ticket, if you out there just selling your tickets to random people that don't know your music, it's like, oh shit, like people gonna look at $20 for a ticket. I don't even know your music, like, you know what I mean? So it used to get hard to do that. You know what I mean? Even when you try to show people your music to get them to buy it, then they still be like, you're not popping for me to like be like, you know, or to them I'm not popping. So it's like they like, bro, you not a Future, you not a Drake or something that I want to pay $20 for a ticket to go really see. You feel me? So that's kind of like what it is. Like, even that's kind of like everyday struggle of becoming an artist. Yeah. You know. So
I was just about to ask if you can, you know, explain what you've been through. You know, your troubles and making it through the industry, and what the youth can do to kind of overcome that, surpass that, or even go about different ways of doing things. Like you said, you know, taking a break from doing that to focus on this. So
I would to kind of like just elaborate. Like, you know, the reason why I say, like, I'm taking the remainder of the year off from recording and all that is because, like, as an artist, you always want to record songs, you feel me? Especially if you're the type of artist that's always coming ready with, like, tracks on tracks on tracks to be in the studio. If you always coming ready, it's like you can record just like that. Like, you can book a 4-hour session and record a whole album, you feel me? Like, the only thing that'll probably take long that you got to sit down is the mixing and mastering part, you know, but you done recorded a whole, like, you feel the 10-track project in 4 hours, and you just let the engineer do his job after that, you know? So, like, and sometimes when you just good at recording and stuff, and you already know what you want to do, and you just telling the engineer, like, all right, do the dubs. All right, I want to do ad-libs. All right, blah, 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 and you already know how you coming, like, you feel me? The engineer ain't got to do nothing but just mix and master your song and press record and press pause, you feel me? And that's it. So that's kind of how I record. So it's like, also too, it takes a lot of time and focus away from, all right, well, we got a poppin' song right now, let's promote it, let's do a video, let's figure out how we can get this DJ plays, you know, let's see if it's a party song, like, let's have everybody out here pushing it, let's play it at parties, like, you know what I mean, or if it's a trap song, or if it's something, like, you know, whatever genre of rap you trying to cater to, you feel me, like, you know, it's the second half of that, like, recording and doing music videos is kind of like that 2% of what you have to do, you know, because after that, it's like you got to promote your video, you know, you got to promote your song, you got to do this, you got to do that. So it's like, that's why I'm taking time away from recording aspect and just putting the remainder of time from this year into just promoting. Learning how to actually promote a song, you know, which I've been doing a lot more of that, especially, you know, artists like myself that don't have a team, you feel me, and I do literally everything myself, you know, like, I may have a video, man, you know, I got, like, homies that produce and all that, So it's like, outside of them, the promotion aspect is literally all me. And all like, just the love off of family, friends, and just fans that just been messing with me for a long time, or new fans that come in. So it's like that's my promotion team.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
it also
like,
shows how much you want it,
Yeah, so
put your all into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes money to make money.
Hell yeah, for real.
So well, I thank you for that.
Of course.
Because that's part of what I wanted the show to be about too. To help the youth.
Yeah, of course.
But what's in your cup?
I mean, as you can see, the bottle is on here. I mean, I'm not really big on
What you mix it
Jack
with?
Daniels, but it's Red Bull in here. You feel me? Because sometimes liquor could be a downer, so you gotta, you feel me, keep it up with the energy drink. You know what I mean? Like if I do Red Bull, sometimes I like to do the Remy and Red Bull. You feel me? Shout out to my people in Chicago that put me on that. But they like, you feel me? They the ones that put me on, because Cali, you feel me? We do the Hennessy, you know what I mean, or the Douce. We cognac drinkers out here. You feel me? So it's like, hey, for real, you feel me? Like when you go to the functions and all that, niggas always got Courvoisier. Not Courvoisier. I guess if you're a Courvoisier drinker, it's part of the cognac family. But you feel me? But niggas always got the Enabito. Niggas always got the 1738. You feel me? Or niggas got the Douce. Those like the top threes that you always gonna see in somebody's hand. You feel me? I mean, I'm not a clear drinker, but if you do clear, I mean, you got the Don. You feel me? Everybody like the Don. You feel me? Everybody's been fucking with the what's the other one? I mean Patron too, but what's the other one that people been drinking? I forgot. You mix Henny with it, you feel me? That's the devil juice. Anyway, you know what the hell I'm talking about, you feel me? but
look, so I want you to tell the people, you feel me, an inspiration. Give them a message. Tell them something, what message you got for them?
Let's see. What message, man?
Wait, before we get into that, I know, but they don't know. Do you smoke?
Oh, I don't smoke.
Why you don't smoke?
It's really, I used to smoke all the time, don't get it wrong. Because they be like, man, you in that smoke shop and you don't smoke. You got the backlist and the drivers on the table. Like, nah, look, you feel me? I'm not even gonna confuse you. I know y'all feel like, what the fuck? like, wait, this nigga don't smoke and y'all got this on there. Like, no, so basically, just to give you a little rundown, I used to smoke all the time because I was a very active kid growing up in sports, all that, you feel me? But as I got older and stopped kind of being so active, I have asthma, so my asthma kind of just started coming back at a stronger rate. So, like, the reason why I stopped smoking was because, like, it started to become a trigger for asthma attacks in me, and what made me really stop, because I know some people go, I'll be smoking, like,
I'm just saying that.
and I look at people and, you feel me, the reason why I stopped, and I stay away from things marijuana related, edibles, all that, you feel me, is because, like, I've had two occurrences where, one, I went to the hospital for, and then the second one, I really thought I wasn't gonna make it from it, because what happens is, it feels like with the smoke, it just feels like it's closing your airways. And so for all my people out there that is asthmatic and they don't smoke and they try to elaborate to people, to those people, I got asthma, but I still smoke, you feel me? Not everybody's asthma is the same. There are some people that have really, really bad asthma where they can't inhale no type of smoke, you feel me? Because then it'll just trigger it right away. Then there's others that don't really have, Then there's others that don't really have that asthma where they can smoke and be okay. So that's just really what it is. One of the reasons why I don't smoke no more. But I did used to smoke a lot back then, when I was an active kid. So.
Everybody got a choice, so hey, it's up to you. If you don't care about your body and your health, and you know what's going on with you.
Hey, look, I'm for all my asthmatic people that is tired of explaining it. This is what you tell them. You feel me? Just be like, look, if you want to take me to the hospital for having an asthma attack, I'll smoke with you, and watch me be like, nope, you ain't smoking shit.
That bite ain't on my watch.
You feel me? Go ahead and give me that blood so I can take a couple hits and just
Be in the car, roll that window down. When you're outside,
because nobody went out to take somebody to the hospital while they high and drunk. Like, for real, trust and believe, nobody do.
Well, thank you for that, and also for the fans out there that's hyped about Mr. 2Cold. Do you have a significant other? Do you have kids?
I do have a son. That's my little buddy. What you mean?
What's his name?
He's on.
Shout him out.
Shout out to my little boy. He's down, man. You see, that's my little dog right there, man. You know, I swear, I done brought him to the studio. He was in there getting wet in the studio, all that.
Hell
yeah, that's my little dog, man. I wish I could have had him in the interview with me, man. You feel me?
Shout out to him.
So I was definitely, and I'll tell people too, man. Look, when it comes down to kids, man, kids are a beautiful thing. You know, when I had my son, it gave me a whole new motivation to the music.
Yeah.
You know, it made me want to go 10 times harder.
Yeah.
And just bringing him around and just seeing how much, you know, he just gets lit. Some of them
Oh yeah.
And he
started
doing
his
this.
head.
You know what I mean? To my songs, I be like, oh, you feeling now? You feel me? So it's kind of like, you know, it makes me want to go harder just seeing that even like my son, even though he's only 1 and 16, like he's already like, yeah, my pops is hard. You feel me?
So, what music videos you got dropping?
I just recently dropped on Friday my festivities music video, so you know the song is on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, all that. On YouTube, you know, 2ColdFamous, the number 2 Cold Famous, all one word. You know, go look it up. It's called Festivities. Shout out to my boy King Kong Chris, man. That's my brother. You feel me? Brother from another mother that made the video possible. Man.
Shout out to you. What other things besides music do you do? Like, do you adventure in other things, or just?
Yeah, I do venture off in other things. You know, I love entertainment, so you know I do venture off and doing like the little comedic skits. Cause just growing up in my era of YouTubers, you know, I grew up with the YouTubers that always did skits and all that. So I ventured off into doing some of that stuff, all kinds of stuff. You know, entertainment based. I am a barber as well, so you know.
Shout your names out.
You feel me? So man, so the barber page, the 2 of them sauced them up, you feel me? Cause I'm clean with the clippers, you good, you feel me? I be saucing them, getting them right, you feel me? Cause growing up, I was like, I got tired of paying for haircuts. Like, and then when haircuts start hitting that $30, $40 range, you feel me? Some people charge it $50. I was like, oh, for the cut? Oh, I don't know, you feel me? But it's funny because, like, back then I was talking about, like, damn, they charging $40 for the cut, I don't know. But now I'm charging $45 for the cutting up, you feel me? So now they looking at me like, damn. But it's just like, after I realized, you know, from it being in that industry, in that cosmetology industry of being a barber, it was like, I realized, like, you know, you really paying that $45 for the time that they take and the quality that it's gonna be when you get your haircut, when you get out that shop and you go into the club and them females looking at your shit is just saucy, boxed up, you got the enhancements and all that. We not doing that for no $20, I'm sorry. You feel me? Hey, there's some barbers out there that will take your $20 and give you a $20 cut, you feel me?
Yeah, not this way though.
But I'm personally, like, you know, I'm not gonna be hurting that much for no $20 to take your 20 to give me less stuff, because I'm just not gonna do you like that, like another barber will. I'll just let you go find another barber that's gonna maybe mess you up. Or he may do your shit for $20 to make you look saucy, you feel me? If you get hoes that night, you get hoes.
Alright, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming. I wish you luck in all your endeavors when it comes to your music and your acting and your comedy. Just everything. We gonna manifest that shit. Alright, y'all. Stay tuned for the next one in the hot